Okay, when I went through that medical scare, the pseudotumor, it did something to my hearing where I can't hear very well. So like I said, I've been fighting Walmart to get my red flag removed. So what basically happened was, at first in 2014, I guess rumor had it that my long distant cousin Missy and Rita and Angie and Carol all plotted to get rid of me. So, I guess this young blonde had pressed 2 times, and there was a witness, and had the bread burn on me. So, I was full time at Walmart, earning $10.55 an hour. And then one day, I was playing Candy Crush Saga on my iPhone 5C, and I was bent over where no one could see my phone. My phone was on mute, so there was no sound. And then I guess from what a witness said, Angie Recoyce leaned over my shoulder, practically laying on me, to see what I was doing on my phone when I was playing Candy Crush. She went with her friends Carol and Rita, and they lied to Ben Foss, saying that I was watching inappropriate material on my iPhone when I didn't. So, like with Walmart rules, they're not allowed to, I guess, believe either side. Plus, they're not allowed to investigate you if there is no physical evidence and no proof. Well, in my case, there was no physical evidence, no proof that I did anything wrong. So, then one day, Ben Foss had Anne, the assistant manager, bring me into the office, and he started yelling at me, calling me a liar as soon as I said, well, I did not watch anything inappropriate on my iPhone in the break room off the clock. And I said, this is breaking the law if they invaded my privacy and I didn't know of this. And Walmart, after he slammed the door, he said, I want you to think about it and go along with their story, or I am firing you. And he was yelling at me and threatening me. Well, and the assistant manager just sat there quietly writing things down. And I was bawling. I told some of the workers that supported me this, and they said, we know you didn't watch anything inappropriate on your phone. And yeah, they were comforting me as I was grieving for my job. And this was all back in 2014 to 15. So when they wrongfully fired me, they had me go on the computer, and I said I didn't do anything, and they still called me a liar. So I went to Ben's boss, then her boss, and then the Carlos Sanchez, until they realized I did nothing wrong, and they said, we go by numbers, not facts. Plus, then they turned around and asked me, do you got any proof that you're innocent? And I said, no. So, this is another reason why I believe Walmart will one day send me a letter saying that my red flag is removed, because one, they'll be desperate to hire people, and I'm willing to go back. I'm willing to also not say what happened back then, just because I don't really like talking about it. And yeah, I'm working with United for Respect. And yeah, Walmart not only broke their own rules to get rid of me, they broke state law in Wisconsin, because you're not allowed to invade anyone's privacy, let alone spy on them. So these ones could actually face jail time, let alone a fine, for doing that to me. So, um, So after that, I have not been able to get a full time job, and I also started developing trust issues with management because, like I said, I don't want to get wrongfully fired again. And that's where I'm at with Menards. Why I'm trying to find a different job at a different retailer, but going for full time is because I am afraid with Menards, and being that I've been getting bullied by customers, and this happens a lot because I can't hear over their shopping carts and rails at all. 'Cause they're so loud because they got bad wheels. Uh, some of the wheels on their shopping carts have absolutely no rubber on the wheels whatsoever. They'll rattle, clunk, 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 even the rails. I mean, even some of the rails don't steer straight, let alone the shopping carts. And with customers, when they're wearing a mask, you can't really tell what they're saying because that mask is muffling their voice. And two, I feel it ain't very nice for them to yell at me. Well, yeah, two, I need my hearing checked. My right shoulder checked by a doctor. My right knee needs to be rechecked, and I should have my left foot checked. But that takes a lot of money and time, and two, that's part of the reason why I need medical insurance and all that. But so when I was at Sears, and they were the best employer I ever worked for. With Sears, they truly had a door open where the store manager showed he actually truly cared for you. Even though that I kept running out of work to do, they appreciated me, and I was stacked on the sales floor and everything. Oh yeah, I mean, they scheduled me pretty good hours. I wasn't closing that much, but was working in hardware and that, and I'll say this: if I get to be a supervisor in retail somewhere else, if they give me the shot, I want to be, like I said, this is the plan. I want to be fair with my employees. I want to keep them happy, so that way they'll stick around the store. I honestly believe, if you give your employees every other weekend off, and telling them, could you at least do one closing, you know? So that way, you know, there's no one saying you're not doing anything unfair, and then this way, if they're happy, they'll pull out a lot of freight for you, they'll stock for you, they'll be happy to want to stay under you and employed there. And two, you can't accuse them of anything. I mean, you can't always believe everything customers tell you either. That is what Walmart has told me. Um, so, and I can admit there is more I can learn with supervisory in retail than what I've been already taught. You can't go walking into it cocky is what I always believe. But if I can go back into it, that's how I would want to do it. I don't want my workers to be afraid of me. I want them to be able to tell me things, and for me and my workers to work out things, as a nice team, keeping the department nice and clean, well stacked, and making sure that they know how to do their jobs. You know, I just believe it's like if your employees are scared of you and scared to come into work like I am right now, um, they just they're gonna go and they're gonna look for a different job somewhere else, or sometimes they'll get real fed up and they're just gonna quit with no notice, and I don't like that myself. But that is my major goal right now. And when that happens and all, I know it's gonna be very stressful for me, but then my hours are gonna be more steady. They ain't gonna send a department manager or supervisor home early is the thing. Because they'll want you there to make sure the work gets done. So, and that's what I want to go into. Um, it's like if Walmart never wrongfully fired me, it's like, would have I have started a YouTube channel? I don't know. Honestly, because, that's just the thing. Because, like, I think even I've started. Cause like right now I'm trying to push the channel to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm trying to get Picker's Place right now to be profitable. So this way, I have a way of creating some income too. But yeah, yeah, cause I think like, well, even before I had the pseudo tumor, I think there have been plans where I was thinking of starting to go to the Lutheran church. And when I started seeing Arnie, I had some people that I know were saying, why don't you go back to a Lutheran church and have Arnie go with you? And I'm like, I don't know. Because once I had the pseudo tumor, I all of a sudden did not like the sound of the pump organ playing. I don't know, it started giving me a headache for some reason. But like I said, I don't know. So, um, that's sort of how that was, and people were actually suggesting some good Lutheran churches down south of here. So, um, but I honestly can tell people I don't see Ernie wanting to leave Landmark Christian Church for a Lutheran church. And, you know, because they'll want you to get confirmed and all that good stuff. So, um, and another thing is, I think, like, was my goal, if I could get a full-time job at a different retailer, I do also need my eyesight checked, because I've noticed my eyesight ain't that, good, let's say. So, because, like, right now I can no longer, push carts, because my right knee will not stay in joints, and now I've learned even my right shoulder won't stay in joints. So, I don't know. I'm still hoping I don't need surgery on my right shoulder, but I don't know that until a doctor, checks it out, basically.